before I get to the next Stanley Cup video, I have to do a Stanley Cup video before I go to bed too.
Okay.
For the 2003 Stanley Cup champs. Do you remember who that was?
No idea.
Detroit. You know how you can remember? It was the Red Wings. Okay.
Georgia doesn't help.
Well, the Red Wings are from Detroit, duh. That's how you remember who won the Stanley Cup.
That doesn't help.
Do you remember where Detroit's from?
Yes.
Do you remember who the Red Wings are?
Yes.
I win.
That has nothing to do with the Stanley Cup.
All right.
Or the year.
Let's go through the live stream that was moderated by the lady who's yelling at me.
Yelling at you.
We'll get to all the questions she didn't ask because she didn't feel like it. All right, who wins the 2017 draft in the long run out of the top two, Devils or Flyers, Nico or Nolan? So there's some debate in this one. You know what? Between the two, it's going to depend on Nolan Patrick's health. I think Patrick could be the better all-around player. Nico's going to be a little flashier. And at this point, he's healthier. So it really depends on Nolan Patrick's health. NHL 18 gameplay with a question mark. NHL 18's released on the 15th. I'm very excited for the 15th. I have it on pre-order. I'm very excited about the 15th. Rock on. I should have it. It's going to be great. Do another live stream. I already did that today, so you're welcome. As a Jets fan, I'd welcome Glass back. And I'm very thankful, too, for you guys and your support. RM says, add Malcolm to the possible 100-point guys. Absolutely. But he's got to be healthy, too. And somebody said that in response. Caught the first tower. This will blah, blah, blah. Spelled red wrong in the description. I did. Oh, yeah, I did. All right. Again, I didn't go over these comments at all, so this isn't pre-screened or anything. It's one of those things where if I don't see those little red jiggly lines, I don't even pay attention. Will Vancouver be better than the Canucks in 3 years? The city will be better than the Canucks, yes. We will rise above. What teams will you never cheer for? That's actually an interesting question, Tyson. None. I can't foresee how things are going to change because I will always cheer for Vancouver, Dallas, and Boston. That's a given. But really it depends from there on the players. It depends on management. It depends on underdog status and just on, like, there could be a really good emotional reason at some point for me to say, oh, I'm really pulling for the Ducks right now or I'm pulling for Montreal. I can't imagine Montreal, but things happen. Jesse said he loved the Q&A, hopes to make it for the next one, and I hope you did too. For more than 50 years, the league doubled in size with a total of 6 new teams being added from U.S. instead of Canada. Why is that? Growing U.S. dollar had its peak. Numerous U.S. cities would later receive teams from East Coast, West Coast. Well, see, you can't really add many teams in Canada. You can't. You can argue Hamilton, and emotional Canadian fans would argue Halifax, or Quebec City, obviously, and emotional Canadian fans would say, well, Saskatoon could support a team, but the sheer economic reality is the NHL is not going to expand much more in Canada. The American dollar is still high. Right now it's at $1.24 Canadian. That's a lot. That's 24% difference. That's not something that you can just shunt aside and say, well, that doesn't matter. The Canadian dollar's been higher than the American at times, but usually very briefly, and it'll usually swing wildly the other way. I know you usually don't like doing videos about hockey that you feel everyone else are doing, but I wondered about NHL 18's ratings for top centers in the league. When I get NHL 18, I'll go through the ratings. I haven't actually paid any attention. I much prefer loading up the game, seeing the ratings and going, wait, what? It's It's got to be genuine, so I can't look at the ratings. I understand. AV Gaming says I got donated $50 for the stream. It was close to that for the first stream, and I don't. It's nice. So let me explain the future and how the present's working. I've quit my job, and I've gone over this a few times. And I'm going to spend more time hanging out with you guys and doing videos. I'm going to be awake. Like right now, I'm awake. Tomorrow, you're going to notice a marked decline in my awakeness. And that's just
Say
a marked decline in my awakeness.
But see, you've had sleep, so you shouldn't be talking like
I said tomorrow, you will notice a marked
that. But today it's not
decline.
market. Tomorrow it'd be market.
No, it's marked. Marked is right.
No.
See, it'd be Marquette if we went to the store. We didn't go to the store, so it's marked.
No.
It is a marked. I'm trying to sound intelligent here.
You're failing miserably.
Marked is like learned.
Insanely dark in here.
Fine, then I'm learned.
Holy crap.
Well, you can't turn that on because
not?
I got the lamp turned off. See how that
It's
works?
really dark in here.
It's awesome in here because I'm in here. Okay, so you will notice a marked decline
No.
in my awakenedness.
Wicked.
Awakenedness. You
No.
sound silly.
No.
And in the meantime,
Oh wow.
and honestly, you know, the revenues have to be up there, or else I have to go find another full-time job. So I have to bust my ass for this channel and do everything I can, and I will, to make sure that you guys are getting your time's worth, and time is worth money. So as far as I'm concerned, if you guys are spending hours a day listening to my stuff, or 20 minutes a day listening to my stuff, that's worth money. So you guys have already paid me, whether you're sitting through an ad or throwing a couple bucks on a stream, it all adds up. And in the end, it allows me to provide you guys with more content. And to be honest, I always think about doing this channel more for the people who maybe are in a part of the world where they can't see a lot of the hockey stuff that we get here in Canada. Could be parts of the southern states, could be Washington State, could be overseas, who maybe they don't get the NHL stuff. Canucks can't retain on both Sedins, so only have one retention spot left. And that's fine. And yes, retaining on Jensen was a mistake, but I think they'll figure it out, because you got to remember, at the deadline, the cap space is relative. So let's say you've got $10 million in cap space and you don't spend that at the start of the year. At the deadline, that amount goes up dramatically. So they can take that $14 million from the Canucks and or $14 million for the Sedins and prorate it out, and it drops the amount of the actual cap hit. It's one of those cap circumvention things that I don't understand why we have the cap. Have I ever thought of watching a game at the Saddle Dome? Absolutely. That would be fun. If Vancouver went with Johnny Canuck rather than the corporate deficient orca, they'd have a logo that screams Canucks. See, and to me that just screams Lumberjacks. The Canucks have the same problem as the Islanders. They picked a horrible nickname at the start of their franchise's existence, and they're stuck with it. So, you know, the Islanders, it's horrible. That's just what happens. Matt Murray predicted he'll win the Vezina this year. Pretty sure it's not the real him, but good for him. Where do I live in BC? Abbotsford. The WHL, customizing WHL jerseys. That one, I don't know where to find that either. Let me know. When do I think New Jersey makes the playoffs again? And Zaka point predictions. I don't think they'll make it this year. They could make it next year. Zaka, I think, will have 40 to 45 in terms of points. He could go higher, though. And thank you for the success wishes for my channel. Overpaid, Mark Stahl, honorable mention. Absolutely. I think Dan Girardi was overpaid with the Rangers, and he might be overpaid right now by Tampa. We'll know by the end of the year. I'm wondering if Girardi's going to be double bought out like Vinny LeCavalier was. Provorov, I think Provorov's going to be fine. Is Wayne Gretzky the greatest of all time or overrated? He is the greatest of all time for points. How many points for Werenski this year? 50. I'll go with 50. Is that the end of the comments? That is. There you go. Questions for the stream from last week answered. So leave your questions on the stream from today. and I'll go through the comment section on that video and answer questions I find there. Because if you didn't have a chance to be in the live stream, you should still have a chance to get your question answered by me as best as I can. And thank you for watching. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, and I'll talk to you again soon.